Hello, everyone, and welcome to Transformation Tuesday on Real Talk with Christina, that be me, and Tom.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tuesday. Woo!
Hope everyone is doing well. Hope you guys are utilizing all of the activities that we have been providing. And on that note, underneath this video is a link for tonight's activity, as well as a link for my blog, which has the bullet points, for your activity. So, Tom, do you want to start them off?
Yeah, welcome everybody. Good evening and welcome to Transformation Tuesday. You know, Christina, if you don't mind, I'm just going to talk a little bit about what we were just talking about before we came on the air. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's great. Go ahead, Tom.
All right, so tonight's about nutrition and making some better choices and getting a little bit more knowledge in those food choices. But more importantly, what Christina and I were like literally seconds before we came on the air was talking, what is MBS? What separates us? What differentiates us? And why we believe so wholeheartedly in our programs? Here's the thing. If you want success in life, it doesn't matter what you're referencing. If you're talking about a career, your education, a workout plan, a relationship, right? I use the example of dipping your toe in the water. You can't dip your toe in the water and say, I'm not quite ready yet and expect results, right? There's no like, oh, I'm going to study a little bit and expect to pass the exam. It's not how life works, right? With MBS, if you want to see success, you want to see changes, whether it's, even if it's not with MBS, if it's your gym and if it's with your trainer, if it's with a Weight Watchers, Lean Line, Beach Body, whatever you want to call it, you're using. If you're not all in, you won't see the results. So then what do? You bash the program. The program sucks. This trainer sucks. Oh, eating good food is too hard. Exercise. I don't have time to exercise. Did you use your 50 minutes of Facebook time today? So what we offer is a path, is a way to that place that you've always dreamed of, right? With your mind, with your body, and your spirit. And that's MBS. But if you're not ready to go all in, then you're not ready for us. You can keep listening. You can keep reading our stuff. And that's awesome. We want you to be fans. But if you're going to engage in our plans and our programs and what we have to offer, if you're not all in, then come see us later. And that's the reality of it. I don't want to train anybody that's not all in. I don't want to sell somebody something if they're not all in. I'm not here to take it for the money. I'm here to help people. Christina's here to help people. That's why we do what we do. I've been doing it for 20 years, right? So if I want to become rich and famous, I would have chosen another career because there's too much energy that goes into helping people. When you help people all day long, it drains you. It takes a lot of willpower and energy, and Christina can speak on this, working with clients, working with people, it's draining. It takes a lot of energy, right? So I'm going to devote my energy where I deem worthy. And so if you're ready to hear what we have to say, to engage in our programs, then we are all ears, and we will do everything in our power to help you be successful, right? But if you're not ready, just keep listening, stay on the sidelines, send us some questions every once in a while, let us know you're there, right? And then when you get to that point where you've tried and failed for the 12th time with your nutrition plan, with your exercise plan, then give us a call, and we'll give you the one and only program that you're going to need once and for all, get you on the path to where you want to be. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you, Tom. And I do agree. This is why we put such an emphasis on mindset here, because something else that Tom and I had mentioned in our conversation before jumping on live was the reason that people fail is because they're looking for something to deal basically with their surface issues. And that's not gonna, that may get you, if all your cards fall into place right, some immediate results, but that's not going to get you long lasting results. That's why the statistics are so high on people who regain their weight, or people who stop going, stop keeping or adhering to their New Year's resolutions, because they're looking for that immediate quick fix. They're trying to deal with the symptoms rather than dealing with the disease. What we like to call your root issues. We do an exercise with our coaching clients called the tree, and every branch on the tree is just a symptom of the root issue, and they list their branches, they list their symptoms, but until they figure out what the root issue is to all of those, what is their big thing, they are going to be doomed to repeat that same cycle. So eventually they lose those immediate results. It's no longer lasting, and they just have one more thing to add to what they perceive as their failures. And I say perceive because unless you have a growth mindset and understand that a failure is but a mere opportunity to learn a new skill set, most individuals will take that as a failure in the negative sense of the word, and they will add it to the list of the reasons why they cannot be successful in one, two, or many areas of their lives. So with that said, tonight we're going to focus, because it's Transformation Tuesday, on nutrition. Last week we gave you a 72-hour tracker, and we wanted you to see how you were consuming your energy, otherwise known as your calories. Okay? Because calories, remember, are nothing but mere units of energy. So hopefully you guys utilize that and you learn something from the way that you are eating, the foods you're consuming, and the beverages you're consuming day to day. Maybe you don't have all the answers yet, but at least you have a starting point by recognizing what you are doing, which is always a good place. Remember, we always say evaluation is key. So that was your evaluation. On this week's tracker, we want you to do another 72 hours, this time making better choices. So what are some better choices? What are some simple things that you can do to start to make changes? Nobody is saying that you have to go on any kind of drastic plan. If you have the discipline to adhere to a stricter plan, more power to you, okay? If you do not, you can still be successful by making some minor changes starting today, okay? So some changes would be to figure out first and foremost the amount of calories or units of energy that your body requires, because remember, it is based on age, gender, and level of physical activity. So if you do not know or do not remember how to calculate that based off of our last week's episode, please either drop a comment in the comment section over here or email us at info@mbsconnection.org so that we can share with you the formula, okay? We have no problem giving away information for free because we want more and more people to live the best versions of themselves, okay? So the second thing you need to look at when we're talking about calories would be, well, we said physical activity was something that was thrown in there. So how active are you? Because the calories you consume will be also reflecting how active you are in your life. And when you change your activity level, be it by the amount of days you're working out or the intensity you're working out, guess what's changing? The units of energy required to sustain you as well. So those are two things that you need to keep in mind before anything else. How active you are now and how many calories your particular body needs. The third thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to throw it to Tom for a second so he can give us his tidbits on the information so far, is that when you're reading food labels, you need to understand that the calories and the nutritional breakdown on those labels are based off of a 2,000 calorie diet. So if you are not eating a 2,000 calorie diet, you are not getting what you think you're getting based off of the food level. That's number one. Number two, it adjusts based on what your particular needs are. And 2,000 calories is the average. Guess what? Not everybody fits into the average. Most people don't fit into the average. So you would have to look at the type of nutrients you're consuming and the caloric range you are at for yourself. Okay, Tom?
Yeah, so just to talk a little bit about calories, you know, if I could ask the peanut gallery behind me, how many people want to count calories for the rest of their life? Raise your hand. Nobody. However, it's important to understand at the start what you are putting into your body and what you know what you're looking at. So when you're in the kitchen, you're out to a restaurant, you're at a friend's house, and you see all this food everywhere. Well, I know that if I eat something, piece of chicken or a piece of meat, I don't care what kind of animal protein it is, if it's about the size of the palm of your hand, that's about 5 ounces, right? Give or take. Right? So if you go and you have that, you go to Charlie Brown's and you have give me the 42-ounce steak, well, then you know it's probably going to give you a little bit more calories and fat than you need. All right? So understand at the beginning, the best way to start your program and be successful long-term is to understand what you are putting in your body and why. So that means the calorie intake, your protein levels, your protein intake, your carbohydrates, the fats, all those things. From now, do you still want to be counting calories every night? Hell no. By then, you'll know by looking at it. It's very, very simple, right? And we're going to teach you that as we go through these weeks. Now, when you talk about weight loss, and Cristina talked about it, whether it's weight loss or weight gain, it's very simple. You burn more weight loss, burn more calories than you take in. So that means if you have right, I always love using the car engine as an example. It's easy to understand, right? You have a car, you fill it up with gas. That gas, it has a little gauge on it that says you can go 400 miles on this tank of gas. Well, if you drive 400 miles, you run out of gas. That's it, right? If you try to drive further than that, you're not going to go anywhere. You're going to start tearing the engine apart. Engine's going to take in all the crud in the bottom of the engine, and it's not going to run good, right? Same thing with your body, right? As soon as you start burning more calories than you take in, that means you exercised more, you moved more, you ate less, whatever that range was, then you're going to start losing weight, right? So if you want to lose weight, then that's a good strategy. Move more, eat less. It's very simple, right? At that point, when you're in the program and you're doing fusion and nuclear and all our MBS programs, you're not going to need to know how many calories you burn because you're going to be so fried, you're not even going to be able to think ass off.
Amen to that.
And no matter how much you ate that day, you do one of our programs and you're going to burn all that excess calorie. So that was just a little plug for MBS nuclear. Right?
It's true, though. It's true. Some of our workouts, you're burning 900, 1,000 calories, during, and we discussed it last week. You burn when it is a scientifically sound and it's structured correctly program. You can burn up to 48 hours after your workout. So,
yeah, we talked about that last week, right? We talked about that. It's called afterburn.
Right? Trust me, they are those members who are taking MBS Power Zone, MBS Inferno, MBS Incinerator. They're taking Warrior, Terminator, Transformer. That they are burning hours and days after their workouts. Their bodies are changing dramatically. Forget the scale moving. Their bodies are shaping, they're changing, their energy levels are up, and their sleep is improving. Go, imagine that.
You mentioned, Cristina, the scale, and we tend as a society to deem a program successful based on the number on a piece of plastic. And that's our first mistake, because that number drives us insane. It drives us insane. That drives people. It drives them crazy, right? Because if the number doesn't read what they expect or what they want, then they say, well, the program must not be working. I must not be doing enough, or I'm doing the wrong things. Forget it. I'm going to quit, right? Here's the thing, people. You could weigh a certain amount of weight. You could be on our program for 6 weeks or a month or less, and you might not see that scale budge, depending on what you're eating and the type of programs you're following, because we're talking body composition. And that's the key. Body composition, right? So we talk about in this country, obesity, being overweight, right? Being overweight is being 25 to 30% over your desired weight for your height and weight, for your age and your height and your weight and so forth. 25 to 30% over that number. So if you're obviously very overweight or obese, we want to get those numbers down, of course. But here's the thing. You can theoretically not even change 1 pound, but completely transform your body because you built muscle, you got rid of your body fat, and you never lost a pound. How is that possible? Well, think of oil and vinegar, right? If you take some of the oil out and you pour more vinegar in, the vinegar is your muscle, the oil is the fat, well, guess what? You didn't change how many ounces are in that bottle. You just changed the composition of it. And that's the goal. Build muscle, lose the fat. Lose the fat, right? So that's an important thing to remember. And this other thing, when we start teaching you about caloric intake, how many calories you need and so forth, right? What you have to realize is that your body has a basal metabolic rate, a number that you need to take in every day just to function, to stay at homeostasis. That homeostasis is balance, to stay where it is, for your organs to function, for your heart to run, for you to breathe. I mean, if you stayed in bed all day long and laid there, your body still needs to burn a ton of calories just to function, right? Now, as soon as you get up, you start walking around, you go to work, you're walking up and down your office halls, you're walking through the city, now you go to the gym, you're burning all these calories, you're exercising, you're taking this class or that class. Now you're burning even more calories. Now that's when the food comes in, right? So now you have to figure out how much, well, if I'm burning a lot of calories, then if I have a big fancy car, I'm going to burn a lot of gas, right? So then I need to put in really good quality fuel, a lot of it. The less you move, the less fuel you need. The more you move, the more fuel you need. And this is my last thing before I flip it over to you, Cristina. You know, we love cars in this country, in our society, fancy cars, 80,000. I mean, you drive down the street, every other car is $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 car. Who can afford these cars? I don't understand. But we go to the gas station and give me the high test, give me the best gas you got. We're not going to go to the little grungy gas station with the no-name gas. We wouldn't put that in your Porsche or your Ferrari or your Corvette or your BMW or your Mercedes. You got to put the best gas in there. Well, so you're telling me that your car is more valuable than your body, than you? And that's the problem. That's the psyche, and that's what separates us from the others. That's what makes it to the root. We're going to teach you again one thing in this world. You, not your car, not your spouse, not your children. I said that. Yes, I said that. Right? Not your parents. You are the most important thing in this world. Because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of them. Right? So you're going to put the best gasoline, you're going to treat your car the best, you better treat yourself the best. You better put the best fuel in your car. That means the best quality foods you can find, that you have access to. Now, that doesn't say, well, I have to buy expensive food. I said what you have access to. The best food for you in your personal situation. Right? And we can teach you that. You don't have to be a millionaire to be able to eat healthy. You can be a regular Joe like me, living on a teacher's wage, and still eat good, quality, wholesome food. All right? That was my rant, my second rant for the day.
I love Tom, and I didn't get to finish it. Tom Gallan's rants. Okay, guys? I absolutely love Tom Gallan's rants.
That's why she gives you all the knowledge. I'm here to rant.
Yin to my yang, Batman to my Robin. Okay, so here's how it goes, guys. There's so much information out there that it makes it feel like it's such a complicated task to eat healthy, and I get it, because you don't know what to buy into and what to disregard. So unless you're going to make it your full-time job to become scientifically sound in nutrition, you don't know. You go with your best guess. So we're going to simplify it for you best as possible. With that said, when you make major changes to the way you eat, you should consult your physician, okay? If you're looking for a food plan to treat a chronic condition, you need to see a registered dietitian who is qualified, verified, and proven. Okay, that's important. In this day and age, everybody has titles, and not everybody is in their fields with the right intention, with the right knowledge, with the right experience. So you want to make sure you go to a qualified, registered dietitian who is proven and who has proven results with her patients and who has proof, okay, of those results to boot. And I'm not talking about those endless before and after pictures that a lot of times are just models or people who, you know, we don't do that to our clients, FYI. We do not blast their before and after pictures all over the market, because we have a handful of preferred ambassadors who share that in our marketing material. Beyond that, we don't do that. And you don't see pictures of them half naked. It's not necessary, okay? We have science, we have experience, we have proven results to back us. We don't need to fool you guys by throwing a bunch of visuals up there where you don't know if those people are really living or changing any of their habits long term. With that said, couple of key things to change. This will start to get you results. And we're not just talking about your weight, but we're also talking about how your energy levels are, what your sleep patterns will be. We're talking about how it's going to improve your overall health and fitness levels so that you can function at optimal levels, okay? So a variety of fruits and vegetables should be included in your daily diet, okay? 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, minimum. The easiest way to include them would be to either incorporate some of them in your main meals or use them as your snacks. Fruits and veggies are really quick snacks to get in, okay? Whole grains. Again, there is such a fear of carbohydrates in this society that it is absolutely absurd, okay? But it became part of the diet craze, a means to market to people who were desperate, and now everybody's walking around afraid of carbohydrates, something that is crucial, if you remember last week's episode, to your health and well-being, because they are, you know, responsible for things such as your organ health, okay? I don't know about you, Tom, but I really care about my organ health, okay? Now, low-fat dairy products are something else you should incorporate. Skinless poultry and fish. And when you're choosing your fish, it should be about 2 servings a week of fish, and they should be, good fatty omega-3 acids that are incorporated. Example, salmon. That seems to be fairly popular, easy for everyone to get their hands on, and goes on sale quite often at most markets. So it's not that astronomically or uneconomically sound that you can't get your hands on them. Okay. You also want to include nuts, beans, peas, all kinds of things in that category. Non-tropical oils. Okay, non-tropical vegetable oils in your diet. You want to also limit or eliminate best you can saturated fats, trans fats, sodium. Something else you want to limit, and I say limit because you don't need to get rid of it entirely. You just need to limit your intake of it, and you need to be mindful when you're purchasing it. Is your red meats. You want the leaner cuts, okay? And you want to cook it in a manner where you're not adding any trans fat to it in order to get it done. So that would be grill it and season it with things that are not, don't season it with butter, don't season it with salt, season it with other things. Just change how you make it, okay? And that would be, and limit it to once a week. 2 times a week max. Some people are lower in iron. They may need to eat it more than once a week. But again, just limit it. You don't have to eliminate it. Okay, so what are some other things that you can do? You can limit or eliminate your sugars. That's right, the sugary drinks, the sugary foods, the high sodium foods, the high sodium drinks. Eliminate them or limit their intake. So here's the deal. I'm not telling you to get rid of cake. I would never, as a cupcake lover, I have a cupcake love, okay, would tell you to get rid of cupcakes. I will tell you that I do not eat them all day, every day, okay? On the rare occasion that I eat a cupcake, I eat it guilt-free. Why? Because I do not consume high sugar things all day, every day. So I don't have a bad relationship with the cupcake. I encourage you to enjoy yourself. Just don't overdo it. So limit how much you consume it. Okay. Tom, you want to throw anything in before I go through a few more tips for them?
No, keep going. I'll add some stuff at the end.
Okay, sounds good. So now, here's the big one, because we must be living in a world that's full of alcoholics because they get scared when we say this to them. Okay, limit your alcohol consumption. When we say limit your alcohol consumption, we mean that if you're a man, don't have more than 2 drinks a day. And if you're a woman, don't have more than 1 drink a day. Wow. Oh my God. What a limitation that is. Okay. A lot of people don't even drink daily. So really, we're not asking you to throw the alcohol off the shelves and never consume it again. We're just saying use moderation and use common sense. Okay. You don't have to overdo it. Again, this is another time where I'm going to throw in their time that they need to adult, please. Okay. You do not have to get wasted to have a good time. I am also not telling you to eliminate alcohol completely. I am just telling you to be an adult and use good common sense, okay, and monitor your alcohol consumption. And if you need to have a glass of red wine every day, so be it. But make it 1 glass, not 2 glasses. There's absolutely no reason that you need to drink a whole bottle daily. So get a grip, adult up, and limit the amount of alcohol you consume.
I'd like to say something on that, Cristina, if you don't mind.
No problem.
So here's the thing. If there's, whether you talk about alcohol or smoking or, you name it, something that your coffee, anything that you may be addicted to, that's part of your habit. Now, you don't say, I'm not addicted to alcohol. Can you go a couple days without it? Can you go through can you start your day without coffee? If you can't, then you have a problem. And you need to step away, take a month off. If you can't do that, you have a major issue. I'm not saying your body's not going to hate it for a day or 2. It's going to, but that's good. Because that's telling you that after you get to the 2nd or 3rd day and you feel great, I can do this, right? So again, if you have an issue with something and you can't live, quote unquote, live without it, then that's when you need to take a break from it. That's when you need to separate yourself from it. Here's the thing about alcohol. When you take in alcohol and your body's trying to process it, right? It doesn't just go in and just go back out of us, people. It has to go through our organs, through our liver, and get filtered. And while your body is filtering it, your body cannot burn fat. So alcohol increases your fat, right? And if you do it over and over and over, guess what? Your body's not able to burn fat because it's spending hours trying to rid its body of the alcohol, right? That's how it works. Your body's a filter. Your organs act as a filter. It's detoxifying all the time. We don't just detox when we drink special teas. Our body detoxes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. That's the way it works, right? And for men, beer increases estrogen. So it increases your estrogen levels, which create all kinds of problems. That's why we get a little beer bellies, right? So you need to think about what your relationship is with your alcohol consumption. I need my alcohol, I need it to relax, you got a problem. I'm not saying you're an alcoholic, but you have a relationship with alcohol or whatever substance it may be. It could be, again, it could be sugar, it could be food, cigarettes, coffee, soda, whatever it is. Say, I need to have this in order to relax, in order to be happy, in order to start my day. Then you have a problem and you need to step away from it. And again, like Cristina said, it's not, I can never, ever go back there again. Well, I'll say this. Let me backtrack a little bit. If you know your personality and you know you have an addictive personality, then you need to step away from that and maybe step away from it for good because it's only going to lead you to trouble, right? So, but if you know, like, yeah, I can take it or leave it, step away, and then gradually add it little by little, or maybe not at all, or just every once in a blue, right? And again, this is about a lifestyle change, long-term, living healthy, long-term, being active. You know, I like the old cliche, or the question, is it the amount of years in your life or the amount of life in your years, right? So do you want to live to 99 years old, but you can't move? Or do you want to be like Gigi, who's 98 and still living it up, right? I'll choose the latter, you know? I want to be 90-something years old going out to, nightclubs and dancing and having fun and, driving around, get my hair done.
And training 3 times a week, okay? I know, because I'm her trainer. So she rocks it. And whether she's feeling like it or not, Gigi does it that day. And she'll tell you, it's important. I have to do this. So she makes sure that she does it. And she eats right, okay? And that's a perfect example, actually, Tom, Gigi, because Gigi made some dietary changes to incorporate more of the nutrient-dense foods in her life. We know because she's on our food delivery program. Less of the junk, never deprives herself because she gets cupcakes as part of her delivery, and other snacks, okay? And only works out 3 days a week with a limited range of motion. I mean, she is 98 years old, so she is not doing high-impact aerobics with us, but she gets her training in. She moves more daily, makes it a point to. She makes sure she watches her sleep patterns, and she consumes the right units of energy. And she loses weight, has better mobility, and overall better energy levels. So kudos to her, okay? I want to be her when I am her age. God willing, I'll be her age. Okay, so quick recap for you guys for tonight so that you make sure that you know what kinds of things to incorporate over the 72 hours that you're using the tracker. Fresh fruits, frozen or canned vegetables and fruits. Mix it up, have a variety. This way, you can't say, I can't buy fresh produce, it's too expensive. Buy some fresh, some frozen, some canned. Incorporate fruits and vegetables, 5 servings a day. Don't use creamy sauces as dips, and don't add salt or sugars to your vegetable and fruit servings, okay? Also, fiber-rich whole grains. Incorporate them for most of your servings. So if you want to go have that slice of pizza, go ahead, have it guilt-free. Don't eat the whole pie, but have the slice of pizza, okay? Just make sure the majority of your servings are whole grains and that they're fiber-rich, okay? Choose poultry and fish over everything else. Make sure they're skinless and make sure you cook them in healthy manners. Don't add sugars and salts to them. Reduce your trans fat intake by not adding trans fat in preparing them. Eat a variety of fish at least twice a week. Do things that are high in omega-3 fatty acids because it's for overall health that we're talking about. Select fat-free or low-fat dairy products to incorporate into your diet. Avoid foods that are containing partially hydrogenated oils, okay? Vegetables, oils, because that will right there reduce the trans fat intake in your diet. Limit any beverages and food that have added sugars and added salts. Choose to use moderation when consuming alcohol or those added sugar type of treats. We recommend that you follow the American Heart Association's recommendations for eating out, okay? Which basically states that you need to watch your portion sizes. So never again, because this is what a lot of other companies say to you guys, don't go out to eat. I am not going to tell you not to dine out. If you have a family engagement and there's going to be a lot of food there, or if you're going to go out with your girlfriends or with other couples or whoever the case may be, to go and have a meal, go ahead, so be it. However, nobody is saying because you're eating out at Red Lobster or Bahama Breeze that you need to eat absolutely everything that's listed on the menu during that meal. Use your common sense and watch your portion sizes. If you receive a portion that is astronomically too big and you know could feed 3 people or 2 people, split it in half. Don't eat it all in one sitting, okay? Share it with someone. Stick around for future Real Talks because we will have a Real Talk episode on how to eat out properly during the future Transformation Tuesday. But if you go to the American Heart Association's or the Dash Diet websites, they will have tips there for how to eat healthy and balanced when you are dining out. Anything else you want to throw in for them, Tom?
You know, it was a real simple method that I learned from a friend who's a phenomenal nutritionist. Hopefully, looking forward to getting him on Real Talk one day. He's the best, named Tom Bellella. And he always recommends the 3x3. And that means get in 3 proteins by 3 o'clock. And if you can start making that small change, you'll start seeing a big difference in your energy and in your body. And the reason why is most people neglect their protein intake. We always have access to quick carbohydrates, right? We have packaged food, we have cereals, we have bagels, quick things, sandwiches, but we missed the boat on our protein. So 3x3, what does that mean? Well, breakfast, eggs. Nothing beats an egg. The egg is the gold standard on which every other protein is measured, right? So get eggs in there, and don't go crazy about egg whites or not having the yolks. Eat the yolks. That's where all the nutrients are, right? So have your eggs. Then you have, I love leftovers, so I have to take leftovers with me because I have to eat. I leave my house in the morning. I got to take 4 or 5 meals with me, so I eat leftovers. So if you're at a job that you have a refrigerator and microwave or some way so you can heat it up, take leftovers from the night before, grilled chicken, some vegetables, right? Steam some vegetables and put it in a nice glass Tupperware container. Stay away from plastic. Get your glass Tupperware and, take it with you. And then you have your nuts, your almonds, right? Your cashews. Make yourself a trail mix. I love going to Trader Joe's and get the packages of the raw nuts. Nothing, no salted, no baked or whatever they do to those things. Raw almonds, cashews, walnuts. I take some raisins, get some cranberries, and mix. I take it home. I put it in a big container, and I mix it with with a brown big wooden spoon, and I just take it and I scoop it into little Ziploc bags. And now I have a Ziploc bag that I can eat throughout the day. I can snack. So that's my snacking. So this way you're not going to the vending machine or going to the food truck and looking for a quick packaged meal. You have it with you, right? It's about taking responsibility for your health and for your own life and for your food choices. The options are there. The opportunity is there to make the right decision. Now it's just you. So, thank you, Cristina.
Thanks, Tom. So again, just to make note on what Tom said over here, you guys overcomplicate the food prepping also, okay? If you don't need a lot of variety, then food prepping should be really easy. I can prep for 3 people to eat every meal and all their snacks all week long in less than 4 hours, okay? And I'm talking about prepping it where we are vacuum sealing it into bags too. So not only do we cut the bags to size and vacuum seal them and label them and do all that good stuff and hook them up with all their sides. I'm prepping for multiple people. I can prep 2 weeks of food in 4 hours also. It's all about learning how and when to do things, how to shop, how to prep properly. But most of the times it's because people are overcomplicating things. So chicken is something super easy to prep because you can clean it all up, put it in separate Ziploc bags, season each one so it tastes slightly different, cook it all up at the same time on it, and then there you go. You have a bulk of meals done for you because your chicken's all prepped and cooked. It's either all grilled or baked already in one shot. So another thing I will say is if you need tips on how to food prep properly so that you are not spending 7 or 8 hours or 10 hours in prepping for the week, please shoot us an email at info@mbsconnection.org or throw your email or a comment on our broadcast over here, and we will make sure that we get you some tips on how to food prep properly. Also a future episode on Real Talk. So stay tuned because we're going to break a lot of things down for you guys. We will have future episodes that are focused on whole grains and carbohydrates, how to calculate your intake for them, which ones are good sources, how to incorporate them throughout your days. Same with protein, same with fat, same with your micronutrients. We're going to be bringing you a lot of information. So I do suggest that if you're going to be viewing us on a regular, if you haven't seen some episodes from before, go back and watch them. Grab yourself a notebook, or a folder, put all your trackers in it. A binder would be ideal for all your trackers and activities that we give you for free. Also, you're going to want to take notes and then take us up on our offers. When we say reach out by email or throw a comment down and we'll get back to you, we are very responsive. And with that said, I want to thank everyone who is watching and those who will watch later for joining us on Transformation Tuesday on Real Talk with Cristina and Tom. And we look forward to bringing you some information on Workout Wednesdays tomorrow night. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Cristina. And you gave me a great idea for a future episode. We're going to do like a Rachel Ray, Emerald Gassi cooking show where you're the cook. I'm going to stand over your shoulder and pester you and taste everything that you make. I think it'll be a hit.
How did that happen where I'm the one that has to do the cooking, Tom, and you get to be the one that pesters? Huh? What?
I like to eat the most.
You like to, I beg to differ, Tom. Do you want an eat off? Because, you know, I am very fond. I have to eat like 8 times a day for my metabolic rate, okay? I'm very fond of food. I don't have a bad relationship with food at all. I am thoroughly a fan of food. I love that idea. But I just want to make that one tweak where, you know, you get to play Rachel Ray and I get to play Emerald. So I get to pester you while we're cooking. Think about what kind of influence you could be for all the men out there watching, Tom.
I can cook. I can go, bam! Right? That's what he does with his salt and his pepper. Bam!
Bam, bam. All right. So then you get to, so how about this? Then you can be Emerald while you're cooking, and I will be Rachel Ray, coming and giving you my pointers, telling you how you could do it better.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I like that version a whole lot better. All right, so Thank you so much, Tom, for tonight. We look forward to seeing everyone on Workout Wednesday. So thanks. I see we have some viewers that just tuned in. So guys, as soon as our broadcast is off, the video will be uploaded so you can go back and watch anything that you missed. So thanks again for tuning in. Bye, Tom.
Good night. Thanks, everyone. See you tomorrow.